Thank you, Mr. Chair. To the bill sponsors, I do appreciate your compassionate heart for those who are victims to gun violence or have made the choice to use a gun to end their own life. It's obvious that the discussion today comes from many different perspectives and is indicative that there are so many things to keep into consideration when it comes to our bill. Since many at the well have mentioned that this bill is in relation to the risk of suicidal action, we must ask ourselves, what is the final driver in a long list of factors that causes one to commit suicide? Those who survive their suicidal attempt will tell you, it is when there is no more hope. It's when an individual does not see any solution to their problem or problems. It's also been mentioned here at the well that this is about safety. Then let's talk about safety. It's been noted by a few of the constituents throughout the state of Colorado the following questions. How does a person experiencing homelessness store and secure a weapon? Are we assuming that our homeless are not equally allowed protections and the rights of the U.S. Constitution? And when did owning a home become a privilege to take part in the Second Amendment? Furthermore, as of March 2019 in America, the top three types of death from ages 1 to 44 are unintentional falls, motor vehicle traffic deaths, and unintentional poisoning. But I don't see those in governance at the well legislating these probable kinds of deaths, or even the top three kinds of death in every age group, such as the complex issues that occur with heart disease, the #1 killer, or cancer, the #2, or even unintentional falls, the #3 killer. Every other kind of death in the top 10 is health-related, not gun-related. Where the bill drafters are correct is that the 10th highest cause of death is suicide. However, in addressing this topic upon the introduction of this bill becomes a slippery slope going down the path of we shall legislate how to reduce the cause of accidents or even death in general on a personal level. History has shown us we have never been able to do this, and we never will. I, too, want to keep people safe. I have no doubt that every member of this chamber wants to keep people safe, which brings me to what stops suicide. Is it legislation? According to experts the world over, it is the following: a support system of friends, family, and other people. Valuing life as sacred, your own and the life of others. Being aware of how exposure to violence increases the rate of suicide. Reducing isolation of oneself and others. Enhancing one's coping skills. And encouraging others that the need to find and use mental health professionals should be the norm, and that to take care of one's mental health is the best cure to reducing suicide. I, for one, will urge a no vote on this bill for the following reasons. The first and most obvious is that the right to defend myself is a God-given, enumerated constitutional right for all, and not something that you as people can grant me. Nor should you be able to impede me in any way from protecting myself, as is my right. Unfortunately, this bill definitely has and includes several impediments, which have been most notably clarified by Representative Carver. Secondly, this is an obvious incremental encroachment on the Second Amendment that tasks local law enforcement with enforcing the unenforceable. Lastly, and most importantly, when those in government believe they have a simple solution for several very complex problems, such as the violence of people, suicide, and accidents, then that is exactly when those in government should not be trusted to make that decision. Because again, as history has shown us, the unintended consequences of such legislation, more often than not, in and of itself, becomes the very weapon used against people it was meant to protect.
Thank you, Representative Van Beber.